I had a good day. I literally crashed my drone, and you know that because of the title of the video. I crashed it pretty good. I also dropped my camera as well this day. So I had a good day. I dropped the camera first. It didn't do much damage. It sort of, you can't see it, but on the lens here, it's got a little bit of a damage. I actually fell off the car while it was recording, so you hit the front lens. Managed to avoid any serious damage, which is good. But my poor drone. So, you saw the title. I've literally... Well, I'll tell you the story. So, obviously, I would have put a little clip here showing you crashing the drone, showing me crash the drone. What had happened is, obviously, I didn't really notice it straight away. I was flying between sort of like buildings for some of the cars. And there seemed to be a bit... I didn't really notice a crosswind. And obviously, in buildings, a crosswind sort of comes between the buildings, and it sort of like can be a quick rush. What had happened is... I didn't really notice a crosswind, but then as I looked at the video, like on the screen that the Mavic was recording, I saw the Mavic sort of veer, like it sort of veered, and I sort of pushed it back with a stick, but it didn't come, and I wasn't fast enough because of how close I was to the building. So the crosswind pushed the Mavic, and sure enough, it hit the building, and basically upside down and straight down, and then I sacrificed all these guys. Is it going to focus for you guys? So imagine the drone going upside down and still propellering, well, still the propeller's turning. I killed him. That was probably the best of them. That one's actually physically, where are we? Physically split. You can't see it on here, but she's cactus. And every other one after has got a chip taken out and or scratched completely. So with drones, it may not look like much damage, but they rely on these. So I didn't try and fly them after I damaged these, but I would dare say that these are now out of balance and they would be no good for the drone at all. And that wasn't even the worst part. So let's get to the worst part. So here she is. She doesn't look worse for wear, really. But what had happened is, obviously, she's gone upside down like this and taken a hit. But before it sort of hit like that, it kind of hit the face. And what actually happened is that the gimbal might manage to be like that. So it's taken a... don't know if you can see that real well. Can we, for people? So there you go. So there's a tiny little hit there. That tiny little hit, normally there's a guard that protects this, but to get the best footage, you kind of have to take that guard off because you kind of sacrifice one for the other. So I take the guard off to get good footage. So what had happened, when it crashed, it hit the top of the gimbal. And hitting the top of the gimbal, it actually bent it somewhat. So as you can see, this sort of goes around like that, and hitting the top of that actually bent this rake here, like, in. I didn't notice it at first. Obviously, I knew I'd do some damage, but when it tried to calibrate, the camera, because it was bent, it was hitting the side of the gimbal like that, and it couldn't actually operate. So, typical me, I had to try and fix it, and I did. So I've actually just sort of manhandled it a bit and bent the gimbal back out. It doesn't seem to be affected anymore, so now it frees up that camera to go left and right. So that's all good. So it's now free to recalibrate and use everything. I haven't noticed any other damage to it. Like, it obviously took a decent hit. Like, it's... can't see it. A bit scratched up here. It took a bit of a hit in the rear as well when she flipped over. Again, very, very hard to see on camera. Unless I can focus in on it for you. I can't. Sorry, guys. I can't, but she's got some scratches here. One of the batteries took a bit of a hit because obviously it hit the back here. The legs went completely flying off. I found them miraculously enough. But other than that, it came out pretty good. So not only am I reporting the fact that I managed to crash my drone for the first time, because it's like anything, you know it's going to happen. I'm reporting the fact that this Mavic Pro, it's a little bit of a champion. It's a fighter. Like, this thing took a pretty big hit. Props to DJI. They made a good drone. Like, literally nothing broke off of it. If the camera guard was there like it should have been, the camera would have been completely fine. I literally just broke a couple replacement propellers, and they generally give you those when you buy one anyways. And they aren't that expensive. But bad, but good. if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, even the camera now sits pretty well flush, so I'm quite happy with that. Unless I crash it again, I don't see me for any reason needing to sort of send it back to get fixed, because she seems to be working fine. She seems to be working fine. So I lucked out. So that was a scary moment. Drop the camera, drop the drone. But as you've seen, I either put the footage in first, or you're going to see it in about 2 seconds. So I thought that was quite worthy of its own video, because I knew it was going to happen. And I did it. And I managed to do both in the same day. So yeah, if you're thinking of getting one, or you're just watching this video, I really rate this drone. It took a massive hit. Like, look, if it came down from a long way up, I would say you're going to destroy anything. But for it to take that sort of impact and sort of come out pretty well unscathed, very good outcome. So DJI, good job. Not that you'll ever see this. But for anyone else interested, very cool, very sturdy little drone. And I knew it was going to hit one day. So, yep, that's my video. And I kept that one separate for a reason, because I didn't want to spoil the other one. But as always, guys, thanks for watching.